Hey guys, full disclaimer, I'm not going to plug these guitars in. This is not going to be a video where I'm doing a head-to-head, which guitar sounds better video. What this is going to be my personal opinion on both of these guitars, which are budget, Strat style guitars, and the features of both, and in my opinion, what you're getting for your money, and which might be better suited for you depending upon what you're looking for. Okay, so that's the purpose of the video. It's not to do a duel on which of these guitars sounds better. First off, it's a completely different configuration. The Squier, this Squier, I should say, 40th anniversary gold edition Strat is a classic Strat config with 3 single coil pickups, and the Washburn Sonamaster Deluxe, as you can see, is like a hot Strat with a humbucker in the bridge and 2 single coils. So it's more of a hot Strat or a super Strat type configuration. So they are different guitars. So let's just talk about what each one is from a component standpoint. So first off, the Washburn, and you can see in the camera, hopefully, has a flame veneer top on it. So it's a maple top with a okume, which is a mahogany-like wood body on the guitar. And the fretboard on this guy is made out of tech wood, which is some synthetic rosewood-like material on the fretboard. It's a darker wood, almost trying to look, I guess, like an ebony, but it is, again, a synthetic wood. The Squier Strat, or 40th anniversary edition Squier Strat, body is made from Nyoto, or some people call NATO, which is another name for Eastern mahogany, or Eastern mahogany is another name for the wood, and it is a European plentiful wood that has mahogany-like properties to it. The fretboard on here is Indian Laurel. It's a lighter color than you will see on the Washburn. It also has box inlays, so it has an unusual feature, a Gibson-like feature on a Fender-type guitar, which is different, and they did it for the anniversary edition. So if those of you feel that it is, or the purists out there that don't like these Gibson-like inlays on the Squier, you may not like it, but that's what this guitar has. It also has plastic binding along the fretboard on this guitar as well. The other major differences cosmetically is that this has a gold anodized pickguard on this guitar as opposed to the pearl pickguard on the Washburn. And the tuners, the bridge, all of the metal on the guitar is also gold. That's why they call it the gold edition. In terms of the pickups, the Washburn has inexpensive ceramic pickups that it comes with. The pickups on this Squier Stratocaster are Fender-designed Alnico 5 pickups. These pickups are far superior to the ones on the Washburn. These are vintage-like pickups. You're going to get more of a true Strat tone out of these pickups than you will out of these ceramics on the Washburn. They're hotter. You're not going to get that, twangy nasal sound that you will on a classic Strat on this guitar. However, they're fine if you're just looking for a Strat-style guitar to kick around and play with. What else are we talking about here? The components. Okay, so the tuners on both guitars are sealed tuners. In this particular case, these are the vintage tuners with the Kluson-like casings on the back. If I can show it to you, that would be more helpful, right? So you can see here, these are vintage style tuners on the Squier Anniversary Edition. On this guy here, you just have El Cheapo, import sealed tuners on the guitar. They hold tune, they work fine. However, I will definitely give the edge to the Squier in terms of better, more sensitive tuners. These are definitely better tuners on this guitar. Also, the potentiometers that they use on the Squier for the tone and volume are more sensitive than they are on the Washburn. You get more degrees of variance on both the volume when it gets louder and lower, as well as the tonal step-ups in terms of stepping up more treble versus bass on the Squier than you do on the Washburn. So they're using better components on this guitar, which they should, if you think about it, because this is the top end of the Squier line. The Classic Vibes and this 40th Anniversary Edition Squier are the high end of the Squier line, whereas the Sonamaster Deluxe is the lower end of the Washburn line. So it does make sense that you're getting that. The color on here, this is, almost like an oxblood. It is ruby red metallic, and there is metallic flake in this guitar. It's a very, very dark red coloring on this guitar, front and back. This guy here, believe it or not, for an inexpensive guitar, they did a really good job with the flame veneer. And every top is a little bit different. So this is a real veneer. It's not a decal. And they did a nice job with this on this Washburn. Back is just, more of a solid, red backing on the guitar. But I really do like the flame, the maple flame on the guitar. The neck profiles on both. This has a gloss neck. So for those of you that like gloss, you may like this neck. It's also a thin C shape. That's the feel of the neck. It's very, very thin, comfortable in the hand. This neck on the Washburn Sonamaster is more of a standard full C, modern C-shaped neck. It's a bit thicker, not much, but a bit thicker than the Squier in terms of the density of the neck and the feel of the neck. It also is not gloss. It is a satin finish on this guitar, so there's no gloss, enamel, lacquer, whatever on the back of the neck. So those of you that like more of the unfinished feel on the neck, you may like this neck better than you do the Squier. Out of the box, playability and finishing definitely points go to the Squier. As I mentioned in one of my earlier videos, the fret ends on here came a little sharp, so they needed some attention in terms of filing down. The frets definitely were not polished, so they needed a little. You could if you want to do it, you can certainly polish them up and do that. The fretboard itself was a tad bit dry, but not terrible. In terms of action, it was fine. The string height out of the box was fine. It was definitely playable. The intonation was okay. So there was no issue there. But this guy was definitely finished better. And also, I think because you have this plastic binding on the neck on the guitar, there's virtually no sharp frets at all on this guitar. I mean, it was perfect out of the box. And also, string height was very low. So from a playability standpoint, it was really nice. Intonation, the whole bit. I mean, Squier did do a good job in terms of Q and C quality control for the guitar. The only thing I'm not crazy about, and it's the design of the guitar, I believe, is because it has a bit of a smaller nut on the guitar. The string distance and separation from the end of the fretboard is minimal on the high E string. So it almost slips off the neck. And I checked a couple of these guitars in the store, and they all seem to have this same phenomena, right? Right here, you can see the high E string, how close it is to, the edge of the fretboard. So that's a bit concerning to me. I'll show you on this guitar the difference. So if you look here at the high E string, you could see there is spacing there. It's not as close to the end of the fretboard that it is on the Squier. The Washburn is definitely has a bigger nut. What else? Both nuts on the guitar, on both of these guitars, are bone nuts. Excuse me, not bone nuts, I should say. They're plastic nuts on both guitars. So there isn't a bone nut on either one. What else are we talking about here? The tremolo system is definitely better on the Squier than it is on the Washburn. Both of them are 6 saddle bridges, but this system is made better. It's a bit of a better design and a bit of a better. I think the block is better on this than it is on the Washburn. So if you're a tremolo user, you're going to give the edge to the Squier. I'm not, so it really doesn't matter to me. I think we covered the weight. This is a heavier guitar. NATO must weigh heavier, must be a heavier weight than a Kume, but I would say this guy is probably, again, 8.5, 8.6 pounds, that's my guess. And this is maybe 8, maybe high 7s, so it's a tad bit lighter. Both have, okay, so here you have your traditional, on the Squier, you have your traditional Strat configuration, right? So you have 3 single coils, Alnico 5 pickups with a volume and 2 tone knobs, 5-way switch. On this particular guitar, which is the Washburn HSS, right? Ceramic pickups we talked about already. Only 1 volume, only 1 tone, and a 5-way switch. So it's a little bit non-traditional on the Washburn. So where are we with this? What is my overall assessment on these guitars? So again, if you're starting out and you're just picking up the instrument and wanting to learn how to play a guitar, the Washburn is more than sufficient for your needs. You definitely don't need to spend the extra money on a Squier, Classic Vibe or a Squier 40th Anniversary Edition. Not needed. That guitar will more than happily satisfy your needs. If you're looking for an extra guitar as a mod platform, again, you can go with the Washburn Sonamaster. It would be fine for that. If you're, a little bit more serious, you've been playing a while, you're looking for something maybe to gig with and possibly record with, I would steer you in the direction of the Stratocaster 40th Anniversary, simply because the Alnico pickups on here, stock, are better. You don't have to, I wouldn't think of changing them out initially. They're fine. Again, if you're just, kicking around and playing out a little bit, doing some gigs and some light recording. Also, if you're, a traditionalist, right? Or if you're looking for more of that pure Strat vibe, you might want to go here with the conventional design of 3 single coils as opposed to the HSS configuration. But on the flip side, if you want something a little bit more versatile, something that, will give you more of that bite due to the humbucker in the bridge, you might want to go with the Washburn. So again, you have a lot of different choices. The overall, the better guitar overall in terms of components and, finishing and standard pickups, definitely give the edge to the Squier 40th anniversary. But again, it's a personal decision, a personal choice. I hope this was interesting. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions on both of these guitars, put them below. Again, this guitar, and because I know it's going to be difficult because I didn't plug them in, but you can see tons of videos on YouTube on both of these, so you can hear what they actually sound like. And I've also done, initial reviews on both of these where you can check them out and hear the guitars as well. But this is going to give you more of that ceramic bite, more of a not a metal sound, but more of a heavier sound. This, if you're looking for that, traditional Strat quack, if you play vintage, stuff, and I shouldn't say vintage stuff, right? If you're playing more classic rock and blues, you may want to play and migrate towards this Squier Strat 40th anniversary. Again, any questions, put them below. I'll do my best to answer them. If you like the videos, please subscribe. And as always, guys, until the next time, be well and stay safe. Take care.